about multiplayer. We're just going to go real deep into multiplayer. We have a lot of information that I wanted to round up for you and make as one big video talking about perks that are going to be returning, certain kill streaks, as well as certain features in the game that are different to previous versions of Call of Duty multiplayer. And it's just a load of information that David Vonderhaar has given to us on Twitter. So if you guys enjoy this video, smash that like rating, and we're bringing a lot of Black Ops 3 coverage over this week. If you guys have missed it, make sure to check my channel. I've got some videos on zombies, a video on the campaign, as well as a more in-depth look at the movement inside of multiplayer. So if you want to check that out, it will be linked down below. But let's get straight into this, guys. One thing to mention is that this is all at pre-alpha stage, so some of these things still could change. Anything could change at this point, but at the moment, this is how the stub in multiplayer stands. So just take that into consideration. Now, looking straight at the perks, someone asked David Vonderhaar if there'll be flak jacket in Black Ops 3, and if so, how bad is the reduction on damage? And he said flak jacket is still in the game. No significant differences between Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3 at pre-alpha tuning. So with flak jacket, you take less explosive damage. You actually take 35% of the original damage to people with the flak jacket perk on. Now, Vonderhaar mentions some perks that aren't returning from Black Ops 2. Toughness has been taken out because he thinks that that is one of the perks which you have to have on all the time, which he doesn't think is fair at all. Scavenger is back in, which of course is one of my go-to perks. I always use Scavenger. Lightweight, they haven't decided yet, but these are all subject to change. Now, in another tweet, Vonderhaar confirms the perk Ghost, which is a perk from the Black Ops series, which hides you from UAVs. In Black Ops 1, it just hid you entirely. In Black Ops 2, it worked a little differently, where you had to be constantly moving in order for you to be hidden off the radar. He said that this is one of the ways that you can counter the UAV in Black Ops 3, but it still says to explain perks in further detail later on in the year, and that the system is still a work in progress. Another tweet, however, confirms exactly how Ghosts work. He said, if you're asking me if you need to be moving to get the protection of Ghosts from UAVs, then the answer is yes, so the perk is going to work just like it did in Black Ops 2. He also confirmed the perk Dead Silence, which is currently in perk 3, which is subject to change, meaning the category that the perk sits in, not the actual perk itself. So Dead Silence made your footsteps completely silent and also muted your character, so there was no speech that would come out of your character's voice. It would be completely quiet. Now, earlier when I talked about toughness, someone said, is toughness built into the game or is it completely taken out? And he said, if you're asking me how much flinch exists, it's about half the amount between having toughness and not in Black Ops 2. But that is subject to change. Now, the last perk that's confirmed so far is Awareness, which was a perk in Black Ops 2, which allowed you to hear enemy movements easier. Now, of course, there's going to be tons more perks in this, but at the moment, this is all the confirmed perks so far. And I know this one's in the game because I used it when I played Black Ops 3 multiplayer at Treyarch. Now that we're done with perks, let's look a little bit more general into multiplayer and look at some of the new additions in terms of score streaks and new changes that they've made to the general multiplayer gameplay. So the massive question is there going to be some sort of tactical nuke or some sort of 25 kill streak reward, such as the nuke in previous Modern Warfare titles? Now, Treyarch have never had a kill streak that you get for 25 or 30 gun kills. It's always been some sort of medal, and that's really it. So David Vonderhaar's reply was, we aren't fans of game-ending or game-modifying score streaks in general. Plus, the mothership will make people wet themselves and rage quit as it is. No need for anything beyond that. Now, like, I've experienced the bad side of the mothership while I was playing Black Ops 3 multiplayer. Imagine a massive spaceship in the sky, like a massive kind of big block that literally overtakes half of the sky of a multiplayer map. It literally is that big. It has rockets, it has turrets on either side. If you get into the wrong side of that, you will be on a never-ending spawn trap by being killed by this mothership. And the thing is, this thing can last, I believe, between 1 to 2 minutes. So you can have literally hell raining down on you for so long that David Vonderhaar is right, that it will make people rage quit as it is, because it is very infuriating. Now, it is easy to take out. When I played it myself, the people at Treyarch told me you can take this thing out with around about 4 shots from a rocket launcher, but you do need to target specific parts of the mothership, as it has these 2 turrets. You need to shoot the 2 turrets first, and then shoot the main bit, and it will take it down. And I managed to take it out very, very quickly, in fact. So this isn't the be-all or end-all for kill streaks. It does sound crazy overpowered, but it's not. If you know how to take it down, it's not as bad as you think. Now, another massive thing is C4. Now, in Black Ops 2, these were kind of overpowered. You could literally destroy them even before they hit the ground. They were absolutely crazy, almost like a grenade which you can control the explosion. It was mad. So C4s are currently in Black Ops 3, but they don't arm till they land, so they can't be used as a big grenade. And they also have a proximity alarm to help compensate for that nerf and to keep them viable, which in turn can be countered. A small thing, but EMP grenades are in Black Ops 3 at this time. Still, it's pre-alpha, but EMP grenades are in the game. Now, a pretty good question someone asked talking about the gunsmith and if it will work like supply drops did with variants, and are pro perks making a return. Probably said that the variants are a custom created gun made from optics, attachments, paint jobs, and camo, all cosmetic, no stat changes. And then for the pro perks, he said that they're not fans of nested gameplay systems, so there are no pro perks, and there is more info on perks and score streaks coming in the later months. Vonderhaar's also confirmed that a VSAT-like score streak will be available, but obviously won't be called at the VSAT, and it will have similar functionality, but might not necessarily work exactly like a VSAT. Now, someone asked in Black Ops 3, do we risk launch days like an AW, or do we just throw them like as if in Black Ops 2, and are shock charges returning? He said that you throw grenades, so no more of the risk launching, and shock charges are currently in the game, but they are at pre-alpha, so he can't make any promises if that's going to stay or if it's going to be scrapped. Now, someone asked him about support score streaks, so score streaks that don't reset upon death. He said that currently score streaks reset on death, specialist weapons / abilities do not, as in the earning feature to earn them. Pre-alpha tuning, but it's likely to stay that way. Now, my boy Unknown Player asked him if the gunsmith will have a firing range where you can try out your weapons in pre-game lobbies like you can in Advanced Warfare. Vonderhaar said, I don't know yet, maybe. It's tough to justify that when you have custom games which does the same thing, and perhaps better by some measure. Now, this is an interesting one. Someone asked, is anything being changed about the loading screen for multiplayer, or will it stay the same as always, maybe a screenshot of the map and the loading bar? Vonderhaar said it's very different. You can see which specialist and equipped weapon or ability everyone is rolling with. Now, I'm not sure if Vonderhaar's response is actually referring to the loading screen of the map or just the pre-game lobby, because when I experienced playing Black Ops 3 multiplayer pre-alpha, in the pre-game lobby you could see everyone's specialist and what weapon they were equipped with ability, but when we loaded up the map it was just a screenshot, but I'm not too sure. Perhaps they've already changed it, and in fact that will be in the loading screens, but we aren't too sure. Now, here we have an equipment related question which asks if Black Hat was returning in Black Ops 3, and if you guys don't know, Black Hat is a piece of equipment which allows players to hack enemy equipment and score streaks by either destroying it or converting it for the hacker's personal use. And Vonderhaar said, I haven't answered that. We have big plans for hacking mechanics and are still working it out, which is pretty damn awesome. Now, this is a pretty huge question and asks, is there full damage in multiplayer? Currently, there is very subtle full damage, but that might be subject to change as this is pre-alpha tuning. Now, related to full damage, someone asked, will Lightweight Pro, which allows you to have no full damage, be a perk, or will it be built into your character? I'm not sure yet at pre-alpha. Honestly, it seems unnecessary right now. Not much full damage in play, so that there just kind of sums up again how much full damage there is currently in multiplayer. Now, someone asked, are there dual render scopes in Black Ops 3, or is it just a black fill-in with sniper rifles like in Black Ops 2? So with Call of Duty Ghosts, they introduced the dual render system where when you aimed in, you could still see where you were aiming in, but the outside around the kind of circle was just blurred. And Vonderhaar said, it's not a dual render as you know it, but it's far from a black fill, or what they call an overlay. So that's exciting, and we'll probably hear more in the later months about how exactly that works. Now, whilst we're on the topic of snipers, someone asked, are there still bolt action snipers in multiplayer? And Vonderhaar said yes, it's one of the primary sniper rifle archetypes, and is a must-have in his own opinion. Now, a lot of you might be confused between the difference between the gunsmith and the creator class. Gunsmith can create variants of guns with specific attachments on it, which you can then bring into multiplayer, and you can name these variants whatever you wanted to suit a specific game mode. Someone asked, when will you show us creator class? Because I don't understand the 6 attachments. So with creator class, you can have 1 optical attachment on your gun and up to 5 additional attachments. But if you have an optical sight on your gun, then 5 attachments on top of that, plus the gun itself, that is 7 points. And then if you need to activate the 3 wildcards required to have all them attachments, which will up a total of 10 points. So the whole pick 10 system, you would literally have no space for any perk because you would have taken them up with the 5 attachments. Another creator class related question asking how many perks can we run in each slot, and he said the current plan is 2 per slot with wildcards active, just like Black Ops 2. Now we have a question here about running, saying can you elaborate on the whole wall running aspect? What directions can you run on the wall, up and down, or just side to side? So you can only run side to side. You are on a linear line from where you connect to the wall to when you get off. Can't change elevation. Now going more in depth in the gunsmith variants, a variant costs the same allocation as a non-variant. Let's say it was just a gun with an optic. If you loaded that variant into creator class, that would take 2 of 10 because one of them is your gun and the second is the optical attachment. Now going back earlier to the talk about the orbital VSAT, again he said that it is in the game and it is a core functionality, yes, but you can fight back against it. It's challenging but possible. And then he said that there's multiple perks that will counter the VSAT. He said he'll get into details later, but we announced that we want you to be able to fight back against score streaks. Now talking about being able to swim underwater and wall running, Bondahar said not all maps have water, thus not all have swimming. All maps have walls, thus wall running, some more important than others. We also know that in terms of wall running being a big part of multiplayer, he said it depends on the map, the game mode and the overall playstyle. It can play a big part or a small part, and this is personal preference. Now for all you Dolphin Dive fans out there from Black Ops 1 and 2, unfortunately Dolphin Dive is dead. Bondahar says the power slide fits better with the combat goals that is within Black Ops 3. Now to some this is quite controversial, and there's a brand new attachment for weapons which is called High Caliber, which will give you increased headshot damage. He said that High Caliber will reward precision shooters, and he said that Stopping Power and Juggernaut aren't going to be returning in the game at all because they were both must-haves, and a must-have is out of the perk power band in Bondahar's opinion. Now this next fact about multiplayer is huge, and it's the fact that you can't stab people with 1 melee kill anymore. They're no longer a 1 melee kill. In fact now it's actually 2 knives unless you've equipped the combat knife, which is where you don't take a secondary weapon and you switch to it and you'll just have a knife out. At the moment it's pretty alpha tuning, but that's what's in the full multiplayer. The fact is that campaign and zombies will work a little bit differently to this. Now for those of you who are confused about the specialist abilities and have compared them to say Destiny's abilities, if you need an analogy, a score streak weapon such as the Scythe, which is the turret from the robotic arm, that's essentially a death machine, or a powerful equipment slash perk, one of the abilities being Overdrive, which is essentially lightweight prone, meaning you can run very fast. And to round off all this multiplayer information, we have the most important fact, which is you can now see your own legs. That's right, in Black Ops 3, you can look down and see your own legs. I think this is changing the game completely. I'm being a little sarcastic, but it does allow you to see shadows of players, which is pretty cool, which means you'll be able to see people perhaps hiding behind walls because you'll see their leg shadows. So there we go guys, that is a look at a ton of Black Ops 3 multiplayer information. If there's anything in this which you didn't know already, let me know what you're thinking down below in the comment section. Smash that like button if you enjoyed and you managed to stay all the way to the end. You sir are the MVP. Subscribe if you're new around here for more Black Ops 3 videos. Make sure to check out the rest that I've uploaded so far on my channel, and I'll catch you guys in another one very soon.